It's clear from Parliament yesterday that the Conservatives still don't think Brexit is a problem, or at least they don't want to admit it is. Deidre Brock, the SNP spokesperson, requested a debate in the House about the issues that Brexit is causing, and yet the leader of the House, Penny Mordaunt, was quite happy to stick her head in the sand and her fingers in her ears, and claim everything is just wonderful. If it's so wonderful, what are they scared of? Why won't they have a debate? Clearly some people have got an issue with it. Or are they just quite happy to keep pretending that everything is just fine?
On behalf of my party and in the spirit of congenial politics, led by our new First Minister and all our independence-minded ministers, how delighted I am to see the leader still in her place after her party's catastrophic results in England. Not catastrophic enough to mobilise her PM for PM rebels, apparently. Can I also welcome warmly the launch by the leader this week of the Guide to Recognising Conspiracy Theories, such as those around 5G masts and 15-minute cities. It'll be useful reading for some of the members on our own benches and perhaps those on Labour's increasingly busy right wing. Now, given her personal interest and what's supposed to be a central role of this House in protecting democracy and protecting us, will she be pressing for a wider debate on disinformation and the malign influence of secretive media, social media groups that perpetuate these damaging myths? I'm thinking, for example, of the 36 so-called grassroots Facebook groups I raised with the Prime Minister last week. Forums full of vile racism, conspiracy theories and Islamophobic abuse of Sadiq Khan, all with links to Conservative Party HQ staff, activists and even politicians. Now, there's reason to suspect similar groups are quietly spreading their poison across the UK, including in Scotland. Wouldn't the leader agree this needs to be investigated and brought to light, not laughed off, as the Prime Minister did? Now, last week I also asked the leader about the chaos of the Tory trade tax, the border checks Brexit requires now, or as former Tory ministers have called it, that act of self-harm on the UK. Now, she swerved that with a boast about Brexit boosting UK financial services. Now, Brexit is doing its damage to Edinburgh's trade and talent in this sector too, but services is a sector not affected by the serious issues I raised of rotting food, crippling import charges, biosecurity risks, delays and chaos at the ports. The leader and the shadow leader might be content to ignore the exporters and importers, the farmers and fishers whose businesses have suffered, while she pretends all is well at the Brexit front. But my party and I are not. So I will ask again, when can we put the record straight after last week's twaddle and have a debate in government time on the ruinous impact of Brexit all across the economy?
The Honourable Lady returns to the issue of the border operating model, and as she will expect, I have paid great attention to what is actually going on. There remains little sign of disruption to border flows as a result of the changes, and volumes of trade appear to be at the levels expected. The IT systems are working as they should, and although, as I said last week, there have been some minor issues to resolve, there is nothing fundamental. And I would be very happy to facilitate a deeper briefing for her or any of her colleagues on that matter, if that would be of interest. Our exports are now at record levels. We have become, as I said, the fourth largest exporter overall, and we are the largest net exporter of financial and insurance services in the world. I'm sorry that she still doesn't seem to recognise the importance of that to her own constituency. And I think that is something to celebrate. So I would ask the Honourable Lady to focus on the realities of what's going on, the opportunities that sit there for her constituents too.
The Tory party is in chaos with two defections in the past couple of weeks and absolutely brutal local election results, all topped off with the inability to admit the country has got problems. And this is going to result in a devastating election result for them. On the one hand, you've got Rishi Sunak trying to say that the plan is fine and everything's working and everything's the best it could ever be. And on the other hand, you've got the other half of the Tory party saying that they need to go further to the right and more fascism, please. Don't believe me? Well, check out the video that's on screen now and you can see it in action. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and I'll see you next time.